Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today, guys, we reacted to you guys our hot takes for the month of April. So we're gonna go ahead and do this, guys. So we're gonna be looking at your guys' comments. I think we have like 15 ones to go through. So, guys, if you do enjoy us, let me know in the comments below. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So we're starting with the first one here. It says Saint Jose 8424 says, assuming one of UCL people still will call him the top three coaches of this era over the likes of Klopp. Yeah, I think for sure because when you look at the coaches in this era, people are probably saying, um, Pep Guardiola, Carlo Ancelotti. Those are probably like the top two in this era. And obviously, if you want to go all time, you could probably say Sir Alex Ferguson. See, the thing is, the Simeone man, he needs a Champions League. That's what's holding him back. And I think he knows that he's done everything else. He's won two Europa League titles, won two La Ligas. He's made Atletico Madrid to where they are, and he's got them to two Champions League finals. And let's be real, guys. Had they not played against Real Madrid in those finals, they probably would have won the Champions League. It's just they happened to run into Real Madrid. So yeah, for me, it's a shame because I really like him as a coach. I think he's a great coach, a great personality, very charisma there, and I just love the way his personality. I just think is unmatched because most managers don't have that kind of big personality like he does, and so he's one of the most highest, well-paid managers in the world, and there's a reason for it. So, will he ever win a Champions League though? Probably not. So, I don't think he'll ever be in that conversation. But if he does, people should call him that for sure. Epi7 Games 253 said Arsene Wenger is one of the most underrated coaches of all time. The fact with little amount of money spent, he could get compete with the likes of Manchester United and could finish the top four for 18 years straight. How's what a coach he is. Devin, top four coach of the century. Yeah, I agree. I think he's a very good coach. He's done amazing at Arsenal. He's made Arsenal to where they are. He's won he's won several Premier League titles under that stint. And remember, guys, he's got top four on a regular basis. And we saw how after his departure, it took many years for them to get Champions League to get for them to finish in the top four. So now, do I admit he overstayed? Of course he overstayed. He should not stay that long. That is without saying. And I feel like for me, he's an amazing coach. The only problem with Arsene Wenger is that he doesn't have a Champions League title. If he gets a Champions League title, you would people would put him as one of the best coaches of this generation. But he doesn't, and for that reason, he cannot be in that conversation, which I think is a bit harsh. But Champions League is the highest club competition for a reason, so it makes sense in that sense. But yeah, I do agree with this take. Kai Talks LW1YT says if Portugal France had gone extra time 2006, Portugal would have won the 2006 World Cup. I disagree. I think that Portugal team wasn't really that great. I mean, you had players like Ronaldo and Deco, but the rest of the team was very average, and I don't think that Portugal team is better than France. France did get the better of them, and even if they somehow made the final, just by curiosity, Italy, no, I think Italy would have beaten them. So no, I don't agree with this take, and yeah, let me know in the comments why you have this opinion because I really don't understand. Matchstack 9 says Ashley Cole's the best left back since Nilton Santos. Maldini was overall better defender, but that was because he was also a great center back. Roberto Carlos was a better player, but I still would say he wasn't known for his defending. Marcelo wasn't better. Um, okay, I kind of agree and kind of don't agree. I would agree that he's probably the best defensive left back since Nelson Santos. I'll probably go with you that, and I'll probably agree he's the best English left back of all time. I'll probably agree with that. But in terms of overall left back, I'm sorry, no. I'm taking Marcelo Roberto Carlos. I'm taking for me, Marcelo's the best, and I'm even saying this as a rival fan because what Marcelo has is the football IQ, the football techiness, the football dribbling, the amazing playmaking ability. And I just don't think we're going to see many left backs in the future that are going to be as good playmaking wise as Marcelo. And I feel like for me, for that reason, he's my favorite. He's the best left back in my opinion. You can also go with Roberto Carlos. I think he's also got incredible tech and technical skills as well. Amazing. See, the thing with Ashley Cole is that he doesn't really have any of those technical skills like Marcelo and Roberto Carlos. And as a pure footballer, I think those players are better. Now, as a defensive player, I'll give you that. I'll probably give you Ashley Cole's better. But in terms of overall, for me, overall as a player, I'm taking Marcelo Roberto Carlos any day of the week. So I respect Ashley Cole. I think he's still a tremendous left back. He's probably the best defensive left back since Nelson Santos, but I would not say he's the best overall. Overall, but yeah, it's a good take, man. It's a good take because I partially agree with you, Matt, and partially disagree. 10 so teams like Bournemouth, Brighton, Fulham are fun to watch, but they get too hyped for everyone for achieving zero trophies. Meanwhile, teams like Newcastle, possibly Forest/Villa, are better teams, but nobody hypes them up, and we are genuine teams that can win trophies. The Bournemouth, Brighton, Fulhams do not have as much hype as everyone loves and addresses everyone but these clubs. Main aim is to win trophies. See, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. when a team plays exciting brand of football, they usually don't win trophies because usually their defense isn't that great, and usually they get caught out. And this is like the same thing because I'll be honest with you guys, I don't see Bournemouth, Brighton, and Fulham making the Champions League. And if they do make the Champions League, I don't think they're going to do that well in the Champions League. If I'm being honest with you guys, because I just don't think these teams are sustainable to compete in a Champions League environment. And here's the thing, guys: when a team plays very fun football, they usually choke in the high pressure games. When the pressure is on them for them to perform, they usually choke in those high caliber games. And we saw Brighton, they choked against Villa. Sorry, I think it was Nottingham Forest. And that's why Nottingham Forest made the final. Sorry, semifinals of the FA Cup. So for me, I do agree that Newcastle, Forest, and Villa are better overall teams, but they don't play as good football as those teams. And I think the people thing is, people like to watch football for entertainment. At least I do, right? And so if you want to be entertained, you watch those teams. But as an overall team, though, I think Newcastle Forest are Villa are better, and I do think they're more likely to win trophies than those teams. So yeah, I do agree with Teneditum, and I do think that people overrate those teams. It's just that they want to watch fun football, but because the Premier League is down so bad, they have to find somewhat of entertainment, and those are probably the most entertaining teams right now in the Premier League. So yeah, I do agree with Teneditum to some extent. But I also a little bit disagree as well because I do believe people should watch football for entertainment, not for your agendas, your narratives whatsoever, for pure entertainment. So, but I do agree though that they are a bit overhyped. Prime Barca 781 says Ronaldo's one of the goal scorers, but I wouldn't say he's as good as goal scorer as he's dictating the game tactically, like Messi and other greats can. Ronaldo usually needs G8 for it to be considered a great performance. I think this is a bit of recency bias because Ronaldo, at his early years at Man United, even at Sporting, he was amazing as a winger. You know, he initially started as a winger and then evolved as a striker. You know, he was amazing. He was destroying players. He was beating players 1v1. His dribbling, his playmaking ability from the left flank was unbelievable. And to see the best of this, you have to see what he did at Manchester United. And I believe he got a big injury at Real Madrid. I think it was 2016. And that's why he wasn't at, he didn't dribble, didn't play make as much. And that's why he kind of evolved into a striker. But yeah, for me, to say that he doesn't have any playmaking ability, I think is a bit disingenuous. It's a bit harsh. It's only recency bias. And yes, I will admit, after becoming 30 plus, I would say he probably became more of a goal scorer than playmaking. But to say he doesn't have great playmaking, I think it's a bit disingenuous. And I will say this though, and obviously when you're comparing with him and Messi, I don't want to start this whole debate, by the way, with him and Messi because that debate is boring, and we already know who's gonna. We already know, most people know which player's better. But the thing is, like, I don't know, man. I just think like it's a bit disingenuous. And Ronaldo's still a great goal scorer. You have to give him that, and I still think he is one of the best players in the 21st century, without doubt. So, I don't really agree with this take, to be honest with you. So yeah. Doodle19 says Arsenal closer in club size to Roma than to Liverpool, Man United. This is a very hot take, and I think a lot of Arsenal fans will be triggered, and maybe even Premier League fans will be triggered. Let's be real though. I kind of agree and kind of don't agree with this take. See, the thing is, Arsenal for me are still a big club. They're a big club in England, but are they a big club outside of England? I know they have a lot of fans, but are they a big club outside of England? Uh, but then again, you can say the same with Roma. Like Roma aren't really a big club outside of Italy. And this is my thing, guys. To be a big club in the world, you have to win a Champions League. That is my definition. If you win a Champions League in the world, you are a big club. You are a big club, in my opinion. So for me, Arsenal, by that definition, Arsenal Roma aren't big teams, in my opinion, in the world, even though they may have a lot of fans. And for me, fans, I don't really like to use that as a metric because I think that metric is going to be obviously skewed for the Premier League. So it's a very difficult one to say because I was actually looking at Arsenal's Premier League titles before doing this video. Arsenal have won, I believe, I want to say 13 Premier League titles. And Liverpool, Man United have obviously won 20 and 19 respectively. That's still pretty good in terms of Premier League. But Champions League, though, yeah, it's really bad. Arsenal got 0, whereas Liverpool, Man United got 6-2, I believe, or 6-3. I think it's 6-3. So my thing is that for Arsenal, man, yeah, it's tough, and you could probably I see where you're coming from, Doodle, but I do feel like Arsenal is still bigger than Roma worldwide. I still believe Arsenal is in that sense, but are they? Yeah, it's difficult to say, man. It's difficult to say, but I do like this take, though. I think it's a very interesting take. So let me know in the comments below, guys. This take specifically, because I think it's a really good take, because I want to hear what you guys think. Is Arsenal closer in size to Roma than to Liverpool, Man United? I kind of agree, kind of don't agree, if I'm being honest. Teaching S13 says Gareth Bale's had a better career than Neymar. Gareth Bale, man. I mean, he's got 4 Champions League titles. He's qualified Wales to a World Cup, got them to a Euro 2016 semifinals. I mean, what more can you ask from Gareth Bale? He's won a Copa del Rey final. He's doing amazing at Spurs. I mean, he also, I think, won the MLS Cup with LAFC as well. I mean, what a career he's had. And you guys know I love Neymar. Neymar is one of my favorite players of all time, in my opinion. But I gotta be honest with you, man. Neymar's underachieved in terms of trophies. Now, in terms of the player, I still think Neymar is way clear of Gareth Bale. I don't think that's even debatable. But in terms of trophies and accolades, he's not achieved as much as we would have hoped him. We would have hoped he would achieve, because Neymar's only got 1 treble and 1 Champions League at Barca, and that came in 1 season. Sure, he's got a lot of league titles with PSG and a lot of league titles with Barca and Santos, but he doesn't have the big trophies. And for me, when you're looking at a better career, I'm sorry, Gareth Bale's had a better career. Unless the only way I'll give Neymar a better career is if he wins a World Cup. If he wins a World Cup in Brazil, then that easily surpasses what Gareth Bale's done, for sure. Because the World Cup for me is the biggest competition in football. But the chance of that happening is very slim. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Neymar is going to win the World Cup next year. So for me, I have to unfortunately agree with this one. As much as it pains me to say this, I do agree that Gareth Bale's had a better career than Neymar. Now, as a better player, though, no, I don't agree with that. But better career, yes, I would agree with that. Tari Joe Otoma says Mars over Hazard, maybe. In terms of what? In terms of career or as a player? I'm gonna just give both aspects since you didn't specify. As a player, no. I think Eden Hazard is one of the best players the Premier League's ever seen. Now, Mars is a good player, and I do think Mars is a player that's very underappreciated, very underrated. But in terms of overall player, Hazard at his absolute best clears Mars. I mean, he was dribbling players. He was making defenders uh, go on the floor. He was embarrassing defenders, and Hazard was absolute peak. And if you want to see Hazard at his absolute peak, just watch the 18 and 19 season, because that season he was phenomenal and probably his best season in his entire career. Now, in terms of career, now you can maybe say Mars had a big career. Now that I can maybe agree with, because Mars got an AFCON. Mars has got 2 Premier League. He's won several Premier League titles, and the Premier League he won with Leicester City is incredible. Although to be fair, Hazard did win a league title with Lille. You have to give him that. That's pretty impressive. But in terms of career, I do think Mars will have a better career, because Hazard flopped so much badly at Real Madrid that really looks bad. And Mars, he's still been balling. So I think now, in terms of career, I'll probably give it to Mars. But in terms of overall player, though, no, Hazard is clear. As a player, no, Hazard is absolutely crystal clear. Like that's not even debatable in my opinion. But as a career, I could maybe give you Mars in terms of trophies. Brandon Blanco 8379 says, "Let Guardiola ruin possession football by his possession tactics, and we're seeing less creativity." It's easy to pinpoint blame on Lep Guardiola, and that's a very easy thing to say in hindsight. But the reality is, it's not for Pep's fault. It's the other team's fault. They're the ones that are deciding to, oh, we need to copy Pep. We need to copy Pep. The thing is, this is the saying, guys. It's kind of the saying in life. I'm going to go outside of football for a bit, guys. When you see something popular, you naturally want to follow it, or naturally want to listen to it, or copy it. That's the thing. It's bandwagon, you know. And because Pep Guardiola is such a genius manager, such an intelligent manager, he knows what he's doing. It's just the other team's fault for copying him. They're just not as technically as smart as Pep. And you can say all you will about his possession tactics and everything. I do agree that Pep has not been playing the most exciting football. But here's the thing: at the end of the day, football is a results business. That's what managers are based on. And if you're willing to see Pep at his absolute best with the football, just watch his early stint at Barcelona. That's where you saw the best out of him. So for me, no, I don't agree with this take. I think it's just a bit. I just think it's easy to. I just think people are just trying to blame Pep when the reality is, football managers are just not as good as Pep, and they're just trying to copy, and they're trying to copy and see what they think, and it's just really stupid. And the ball playing goalkeepers thing. It's not Pep's fault. It's your fault. You're the one that wants to do it. So blame your coach than Pep. So no, I don't agree with this take. English Beyond Porter says Frank Lampard was a better player than Steven Gerrard. Ooh, this is a very interesting thing. Now I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I haven't really watched both these players at their. I haven't really watched both these players, so I'm not really probably one to comment on this. But if I had to pick, I had to go Steven Gerrard. And the reason why we go with Steven Gerrard is because what he did in the 2005 Champions League final. That in itself, as a leader and as a captain, he was able to galvanize the Liverpool team to do the comeback. Now, I do think Frank Lampard is an amazing player. I think he's one of the best. He's probably one of the best English players. But I just think that Steven Gerrard, what he offers is that leadership aspect and the mentality aspect. And for me, that's the reason why I go Steven Gerrard. And I think that's probably why most people go with Steven Gerrard because he has that more multitude of factors. It's not just goal scoring and playmaking, you know. Whereas Lampard, he's primarily known for his goal scoring. We don't really remember him for his like defensive work or his like playmaking ability. We just remember him for his goals. Whereas Steven Gerrard, he got playmaking ability. He can defend. He can attack deep. He can make brilliant passes. He can score goals, crucial goals as well. And so for that reason, I don't agree with this take. I don't agree. But respect to you, Matt. I think they're both amazing players. I think they're both legendary in their own ways. But if I had to choose, I have to go Steven Gerrard for me for this one. Matt, let me know in the comments below though why you think Frank Lampard is better. I'm out of curiosity. Clover is fan 818 said Chelsea will succeed in the near future under Blue Co. I don't think this is a hot take. I think Chelsea should succeed. It's just a matter of when rather than if. Because here's the thing, guys. Chelsea been pumping money so much, and that Todd B has done the best. The issue is that Chelsea are just not going to be as good as Roman Abramovich. Under Roman Abramovich, Chelsea are going to be amazing. But it's going to take several. It's going to take several years. How long is it going to take? I don't know. Because Chelsea need to get Champions League this season. If they don't get Champions League this season, I think the season's a failure. Even if they win the Conference League, if they don't get Champions League this season, I'd say it's a complete failure because the amount of money you spent, the amount of time you've been in the Premier League top five for this season is ridiculous, and you have to gradually build. And I think this Chelsea team should be a Champions League caliber team. So we'll see though, because Chelsea are a very short-term club base at the moment. I mean, they sacked Pochettino last season. They brought in Maresca, and I wouldn't be surprised they dismiss Maresca at the end of the season if they don't get Champions League. So who knows what's that going in the club because that club is making a that club is very much short-term basis. And I do think if they want to succeed in the near future, they have to be long-term. They cannot sack managers this quickly. They have to give the players time. They have to give the players. They have to give the manager enough time to cope with the team because you can't just sack managers as quickly and expect immediate results. You know. So yeah, that's the thing. Sebastian AK 1891 said Flick's Barca is better than Pep's Barca. Now, in terms of playing style and entertainment, yes, I'll probably agree. I think Flick is more fun to watch. But in terms of overall players, no. I'm sorry, this is definitely not an argument. I'm sorry. Pep's Barca is clear. I mean, you got Eto'o, you got Henry, you got Messi, you got Xavi, you got Iniesta. Bro, these players trump any of the players that we have, like Pedri, Gavi, Olmo, Lewandowski, Rafinha, Yamal, and I love these players. But in terms of overall players, no. Pep's Barca is easily better. Now, in terms of entertainment, yes, I will agree. Flick's Barca is more fun to watch. But in terms of players wise, no, I don't agree with that. So we'll see. And Flex Barca, man, they have something special to do this season. Can they win the trouble, man? Can they win the trouble? Because if they do, man, that will be amazing. I will really, really enjoy it. And I think final comment we got here from Mango Boy says, and Neymar stayed at Barca, he'll be one of the best players of all time. He'll be one of the best Barca players. I'll agree with you on that. But all time, I'm not sure about that. All time, I'll have to see. I'll have to see how much he wins, but I don't think he would be all time. I think all time is a bridge too far. But he would definitely be one of the best Barca players of all time. Like I would definitely agree with that. But all time though, I'm not so sure about that. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys. It was a good video, guys, to reaction to you guys hot takes here. I had a lot of fun doing this. So let me know if you guys had fun as well. You guys like and subscribe. And yeah, peace out, guys.